Welcome to session 3 of the series on wholeness. Life is a matter of choice, and every choice we make makes us.
Prison doors swing wide, the dead come to life. Love is on the move when the Father's in the room.
The greatest gift God has given us is the freedom of choice. Without the freedom to reject Him, we are powerless to choose Him. Choice, however, means life or death, and Satan, also known as the deceiver, uses that freedom against us to lure us into independence from God. Genesis chapter 3 reveals 3 primary strategies Satan used and still uses today to sidetrack us from our relationship with God. The first is doubt. Did God really say? Is often what the thought attack can sound like. His approach is subtle to get us to question the truth and goodness of God. The second is lies. You don't die, is the reply he gave the woman in the garden. This was a blatant lie, as God had told them that disobeying Him and eating the fruit would really result in death. Satan is known as the father of all lies. The problem is that we don't know what the truth is. How will we be able to discern the lies? The third is temptation. If you eat that fruit, you can be like God. Satan makes disobeying God looks good. Hence why Adam and Eve ended up breaking the only rule God had given them. And then Adam and Eve let the suggestion that God was not really trustworthy take root, and they ate the fruit that God had forbidden. Just like that, the curse came down. They were expecting to become like God. Instead of the power and glory they were anticipating, they felt uncovered, vulnerable, and ashamed. Their identity was destroyed. Notice how the enemy wanted us to choose self-dependence, to be the God of our own lives rather than dependence on God. Because of Adam and Eve's choice, we are all born into a fallen and sinful world. Still to this day, we fight the same fight that Adam and Eve began in the Garden of Eden. Our wrestle is either choosing self-reliance, as we have now inherited the knowledge of good and evil, or trusting in God. Although this is a harsh reality, it's not all doom and gloom, because God wasn't surprised by Adam and Eve's choice, just as He isn't surprised by our choices today. What is interesting to notice how God responded to Adam and Eve's, or our mess, versus how they or we responded. Their response was driven by shame. They ran, hid, covered up, and blamed. These are defense mechanisms we still use today. Despite these defenses, God's response was to go looking for them. He called out asking, "Where are you?" It's important to realize this is a positional question that reveals how God is more interested in where we are, our position in relation to Him, than in what we have done. God then makes another great response of covering their nakedness with animal skins He made for them. This means Adam and Eve would have witnessed the killing of the first innocent victim to cover their shame. This is the foreshadowing picture of Christ, our redemptive hope. Let us consider a few questions before we move ahead. What doubts do we wrestle with regarding God? What beliefs or lies do we struggle with about our value? And what areas of our life do we struggle to trust God with? Let's have a word of prayer. Lord, we pray that You would show us the lies that we have held on to and the spaces in our life we have chosen to hold on to instead of trusting You with. Please give us the wisdom and power to choose to follow You in every area of our life. In the next session, we will learn what was the effect of heeding the voice of the enemy. Hope these sessions are blessing you. Please consider to like, share, comment and subscribe to the channel and the truth which has been shared, so that we can reach many who are seeking the truth, and the truth shall set them all free.